Hello YouTube, it's me again. It's Sunday morning, and last night I had a little bit too much to drink, and now I'm a bit hungover. So today I'm going to be making the perfect hangover cure. It's going to be buttermilk biscuits, and then on top of that I'm going to be making breakfast sausage, and a potato, a pepper, and onion, what would you call it, hash, with breakfast sausage and eggs on top. All on top of the biscuits. So for the first part, we're making the biscuits. It's gonna be fucking awesome. So anyway, I have measured out in this bowl 4 cups of flour, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of salt. I have maybe, what would you say, 14 tablespoons of butter. It's actually a mix of butter and bacon grease. And I have 1.5 cups of buttermilk. So we have all the dry ingredients here, you know, the salt, the baking powder, baking soda, and the 4 cups of flour. And we're just going to give that a little mix. So just to get everything incorporated well from the beginning, we'll give it a mix. By the way, the oven is preheating on 218 degrees Celsius or 425 degrees Fahrenheit. It's been preheating for a while, so it's getting nice and hot. And we have all the dry ingredients mixed. And also, the butter and bacon fat mixture is in the freezer because we need it cold when we work with it. Because we're going to be mixing it with the flour. And if it's melty, it's just not going to be any good. So here we have the butter bacon fat mixture. We're going to take it and we're going to put it all into the flour. Yeah, there's a little bit of liquid because I had to melt the butter to be able to properly measure it. But that should be fine. Just get it all in there and start working it with your hands. So, we get all the butter out. Now, we just dip our hands into the mixture, cover the butter with flour, and break it down. Get it all mixed together, break the butter and bacon fat into small clumps that mix with the flour. Just do this until it's ready. Just get all the flour evenly covered with this delicious low-fat butter bacon fat mixture. By the way, don't use margarine when you do this. That would just be crazy. Either way, you need 14 tablespoons of whatever fat you're using. You know, it'll be good with Crisco, shortening, pure lard, it would be good. Just pure bacon fat is a lot easier to work with than butter. Or butter, but don't use margarine. That's just like, what would you call it, the Disney way of doing things. You know, when we make food, yeah, it's not very healthy, but we enjoy it. And it tastes better. So, you hear what I'm saying. Don't use margarine. So, you want to get it all mixed up to about this point. I'll show you in a second. Just clumps evenly mixed with the flour. And basically now it's time to add the buttermilk. Look at it. It looks like mealy. It looks like flour mixed with the butter. It looks like, how would you describe that? Like little clumps of butter, basically. Because that's what it is. And it's all mixed with the flour. It's all been mixed good and well. Now, time to add 1.5 cups of buttermilk. Make a little well in here. And let's open up the fridge and get the buttermilk that we already have measured out. 1.5 cups. Here, we're probably going to need some kind of spoon or spatula. We make a well in here, like a little well in the thing. Yes. We're gonna add in the buttermilk. Just add it all, don't be scared. Now, they don't sell buttermilk here in Spain, so I had to make it. For every cup of milk you have, whole milk of course, you mix in 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now, this is 1.5 cups, so I made 2 cups of buttermilk. 2 cups of milk, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Just get it all mixed so the flour, every bit of flour is completely covered in the buttermilk. There's no extra milk. Not the biggest mix, but we want to get everything off the sides and incorporated. So just keep on mixing. And we have flour here on our countertop, which we're going to use to knead the dough. Here we go. We've got ourselves some uniformity, some homogenization, some equality. And we're basically there. This is what the dough should look like. It's all come together, and it's fucking firm and stiff. So, take some flour and put it out onto our bar, onto our countertop of love. Here we go. Flour it, flour it, flour it. And now we're going to start working the dough. Dump the dough down. Dump it all onto the top. Ha. More. So any extra time that the butter or fat is melting is what we don't want. We want these to be cold made. So now we got the dough laid out. We're going to flour our hands like so. Bring the dough together basically. You know, flip it so that side gets the flour on all the sides. Good. Now we got a piece of dough that we can work with. So, start hitting it down, but making a square shape. What we're doing is a folding process where we fold it 3 times. Any more times than that, it's not going to be as fluffy and delicious as we want, but you need to knead it a little bit. So, we're flattening it out into a uniform square of love, or some kind of rectangle, right? Flour hands a little bit more, spank it down a bit, and time for the first roll, or flip, or whatever you want to call it. We want it basically about less than an inch thick, probably like between half an inch and 3/4 of an inch thick. So, because they're going to rise in the oven. Quick rise bread. So we fold it in thirds on this side, like this. We fold it in thirds on this side, like that. We're going to do this process 3 times. So we got to fold it in thirds, bring it back to its squarish rectangular shape. Right? And then we're going to do the second flip. So, by the way, this makes good pie crust. If you want to make like a chicken pot pie or something, or if you want to make chicken soup and biscuits and dumplings, you just cut really small pieces of this dough and drop it in the chicken soup as it's cooking. So anyway, time for flip 2. Once again, fold it into thirds, and let's flour this a little bit and turn it over actually. Yeah. And pat it down again. Make it into the rectangle that we've been talking about so far. It looks good. This is going to be so fucking flaky and fluffy and delicious, and you know, great cracked open with cheese or butter on it, however you want to do it. It's going to be really good. Anyway, we're getting it to the thickness we need and the shape, and on to the third and ultimate last final flip. Fold it like this and fold it like this. Finally, time to shape our dough. Always keep your hands floured so things don't get too sticky. You don't want these biscuits sticking to the countertop. You want them going in the oven. So, get it nice and thin to our taste. And we've got ourselves some prepared biscuit dough. A little bit thinner, because it will rise in the oven. And now we've got ourselves a shitload of biscuits. Now, it is fucking hot today. It is really hot. God damn it. Anyway, I shouldn't be saying that on Sunday on his day, you know? But here we go. This is what we need. We need a pan. Now, in this pan, we're gonna lay out some parchment paper. Okay, so like I said, we got the dough laid out and we got ourselves a nice knife, and we are gonna cut these down into biscuitable size pieces. So, let's give it a cut lengthwise with a knife. You know, we don't have a cookie cutter, So we're going to make square biscuits. Who gives a fuck? You know? They'll be good. They will be rich and delicious and really unhealthy and fatty and wonderful. All the right things for a good biscuit. And it seems like we're going to have a lot. Let's start laying them on our baking sheet. No need to grease it, just take a baking sheet and put some parchment paper on it. So, we got 2 of these bad boys on there. Now let's make it 3. They're going to be close together, you know what that means? They're going to rise more. They're going to get really, really tall. Which is what I like. I find that to be really delicious. And lovely and pretty and beautiful. All the good stuff. All the stuff that you're looking for in a biscuit. Now, we have to really Tetris it here. Get things fitting, you know? But we can manage. Even if we can't manage, we'll have to manage. Because I'm not saving any biscuit dough. I want it all cooked in the oven. Good. So we did a Tetris thing. Now, we still have some buttermilk here that we want to brush on the top. Just, we don't have a brush. So this is what we're going to do. In each biscuit, in the center, make an indentation with your thumb. So they rise more even. Indentation with your thumb. Indentation with the thumb, 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 and an indentation with the thumb. So, now, we don't have a brush. How are we going to do this? We're going to take a little spoon, put some of the buttermilk on top, and spread it with our thumb, believe it or not. So, maybe a spoon between 2 biscuits. Okay, so we've got ourselves a nice, lovely 425 degree Fahrenheit oven that's preheated, or you could also call it a 218 degrees Celsius preheated oven. But either way, it's preheated, and I'm ready to put these lovely biscuits in. They've been covered with a buttermilk mixture. They're really close together, so they are going to grow tall and proud. 15 minutes. We've got the bottom heat going on, and the top heat. Now, set it to basically 15 minutes and we'll keep our eyes on it. But the broiler is going to crisp up the tops of these lovely biscuits. Okay, so we're halfway through the biscuit making process of the oven cooking time. It's been like 7 minutes. What we want to do is take the biscuits, they're already turning into wonderful, lovely, delicious biscuits. And basically flip the pan the other way, just to make sure everything gets evenly cooked. Throw it back in and cook them until they're finished. Okay, so what's going on, you might want to know, with the biscuits? I think they're done. So I'm going to put on this oven mitt and gently take them out so you guys can see what I was talking about. Look at this. Wonderful, delicious biscuits. This is the first step of our super breakfast, the hangover men's hungry mountain breakfast. My biscuits. Let's take one quick look. I'll even zoom in for you guys. Are you looking at my biscuits? They're tasty, delicious, and wonderful, girl. Are you looking at my biscuits? Biscuits are what'll happen if you come into my world. Yeah. Anyway, that's the biscuit portion. Ooh. We are gonna clean down this countertop here so we can start chopping our veggies and stuff. Okay, so anyway, a little piece of advice for when you want to clean down the countertop. Take the same big knife and scrape it along to get the clumps of buttery flour out. And the best part is we can collect this and use them for the next batch of biscuits. So what you do is you take a paper towel, you put it here, you just put all the flour crumbs on here like this, fold it up, use it for the next batch. Yeah, right. I'm just kidding, you throw it out. Anyway, take the pepper, cut it in half like so. Take the smaller half because we're not eating that much. Break the part out, cut out the white parts, and the bottom part. And we'll have ourselves an easy to cut pepper. Just cut out all the white stuff. And we have our first half of pepper and our second. Anyway, then take these halves, give it a wash, and julienne, slice them down into little strips. Okay, so let's show you guys what we're dealing with here. We got our biscuits all the way in the back over here. Don't they look lovely? They're just cooling down a little bit. We've got our chopped peppers and onions. We've got some potatoes that I cut into little bite-sized pieces. And we've got our breakfast sausage and links. So first things first, we're going to start cooking the sausage and the potatoes. Now for the potatoes, what we want to do is boil them first before we even start frying them, because it's just more delicious that way. You'll see what I'm getting at here. For the potatoes, just put the water on the stove, add a little bit of salt, and then just throw the potatoes in now. And when it starts boiling, when you see it start boiling, give it basically 3-4 minutes for this potato, because it's a very small potato. Fuck! I had to drop that piece into the garbage. I'm gonna wash it off. It's washed, it's clean, and it's in the potato pot. We cooked the breakfast sausage in this pan. We'll put a little oil in there and cook it until the sausage is cooked completely. It'll be brown on the outside, yes, and delicious and crispy and delicious and wonderful. But we want it to be 160 degrees on the inside. And what we're going to do is throw a little bit of vegetable oil in there. A little bit. And not too much, just a small bit. Like this, you know. We want to keep this breakfast healthy. Like a little bit of oil is going to make a fucking difference after this big breakfast with the biscuits and all that. But the important thing is that it's going to be delicious. And that's what we're going for here. So, and get the pan nice and lubricated. Looking good, right? I assume you think. So, spread this out like this. We got our veggies here, the peppers and the onions. And we got the blanched potatoes. You know, they're just like little potato chunks, like so. And they're steaming a little bit. That's a sign of heat. You know, just salt and pepper, but a lot of salt, because we want this to be healthy. I keep saying healthy, like this dish is that, but you know, it's just, in my eyes, something delicious and filled with fat like this is healthy, because it gives me the energy I need to go about my day, take care of my hangover. And when they start getting soft, that's when I'm going to add the potatoes. Add more salt. You know, we want the potatoes to be salty too, or at least seasoned, you know. And sprinkle a little bit more pepper in there. A little bit, and start cooking this to crispy, delicious doneness. So, you know, that's all I wanted to say, really. Oh, and you know, I sliced the sausage up into little breakfast bite-sized sausagey pieces of wonderful madness. And that's them. Do they look good? Yes, they do. I got myself 3 eggs, as you can see, where the 3 eggs are, there. And I'm going to start working on making a creamy, delicious, wonderful omelet. Whole milk, of course, you know. This is an unhealthy meal. We want to take it to the max. You know, to the max is how we do it. Now, a good piece of advice for beating in eggs. Use a big cup. Use like a coffee mug or something. Now, take an egg, crack it on the table, and fuck. Some milk. For 3 eggs, I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons of milk, not too much. We don't want to make it you know, we're just making scrambled eggs here. We're not rocket science, you know. And we got ourselves some nice, let me see if I can zoom out, mild cheddar, queso cheddar tierno. Some nice mild cheddar cheese. This time, let's put some salt in. Decent amount. We don't want the eggs to be bland. You know, this is American food we're making here, not British food. We don't need blandness. And a good amount of black pepper. I mean, Brits are big on the salt and pepper too, but you know, I'm not putting any fucking curry in here. You know, because that would just be ridiculous. Ah, these potatoes are getting a nice, crispy and lovely crust. Ha 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 ha. We are almost cooking. I mean, we are cooking. We are almost done cooking. Ready to fucking eat. What we want to do is fry the eggs in butter, of course. You know, because everything tastes better with butter. It's a Norwegian expression. Time to work on the egg. Fun. Put the eggs in. And basically make your typical scrambled eggs recipe. So, let's do this. Let's make a biscuit compound. Like a biscuit fortress. Like so. These are 3 biscuits that I cut open. You know, they are looking good. Really good. Smelling good. And I took a little bite of one of the corners. I go, oh. And then, oh, that was awesome. So let's turn this heat off. And now, let's throw it down. Making sure to get sausage onto each biscuit. The mixture. There we go. Time to throw down everything. Everything. Like so. Here we go. Like so. Just get everything all up on there. Now, we got a super mega plate of culinary genius. We are now going to put on these eggs. Just half of them. So, here we go. And some ketchup. This is how you take care of a hangover. Let me focus in on it, and maybe you can take a testing bite to see if the food is real. To prove to you guys that it's real. So, let's zoom in. Oh, look at this. Look at this mess. I don't even know how I'm going to start with this, but, you know, the typical way. I'm going to start with it. So, let me grab this fork and knife and dig in really quick. And I'll show you guys what I'm dealing with here. Okay, cut through this biscuit. You know, get some egg on it. Yeah. Get some egg on it. A little bit of sausage. Some of that pepper, onion, hash madness. And we have it here. You can see I'm sweating. It's really hot today. And this is sloppy, but hey. Huh. Can I say something? This is fucking delicious. So, wonderful, delicious breakfast. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Talk to you next time I make a video. In fact, I'll probably make a video showing you how I made the breakfast sausage. I made that from scratch too. I'll show the recipe next time. Talk to you later now. Bye.